Hey y'all, it's Yes Girl 13, sorry, aka Aileen. This is my story on being bullied. This is what this video is about. It starts in kinder and goes all the way to graduation and high school, 12th grade of course. Um, so I had started a new school. Um, I was a whole lot farther behind than most kids in my grade. I had learning disability that was caused by my ear infections that I got as a child. I couldn't talk till I was 3, so I would sign. I knew all the signs. I knew how to talk to my mom and dad in sign language. They kind of learned. I could talk to my teachers, tell my teacher what I needed. Anyways, so I left that school to go to kindergarten. That was closer to my apartment. And as I started that school, I knew my cousin would be in my grade. I was older than him by a year. I was older because my birthday being in November and I start in August, so I had to wait till that year. I had done some kindergarten free learning at a different school that I was at before. I was the youngest student in my ISD. Everything I'm going to tell is pretty shocking. So, the first incident happened was kindergarten. I was being bullied. I had to deal with it. Never knew how to deal with mean people, nothing. I was the sweetest, nicest little girl on earth, you know. I just was trying to learn. Anyways, I was behind. I was different. I will straight up admit I was different than most kids. And the first incident happened on the playground. We were getting stickers. The stickers would go on a folder. It would then earn us prizes and stuff for however many stickers you had. We could get a certain prize or whatever. Anyways, I was always in, not, well, kind of like timeout at recess, like you weren't allowed to play. Mostly because I did have ADHD. I had it for a long time. I wasn't used to the school. My teacher didn't realize that this wasn't, my normal habitat or my normal place that I was used to. I was used to different. I was used to being able to run around, have fun, do whatever I wanted. And now I was actually like having to sit and pay attention and be a 5, 6 year old and didn't really know that. We really didn't do that much at this school. Anyway, so as the year went on, we had gotten stickers. One day I got a sticker. I put it on my shirt. I then went outside for recess. I was able to play that day. And I went and I was playing and I lost the sticker. So I found it. Some other girls from my class had also found it. They wouldn't give it back. So they threw it over the fence into the road. So I start running to tell the teacher. They push me down, hold me down, try to get me in trouble so I couldn't have recess the next day. So being held down, the teacher had already called for us to come back in. If you weren't there, she would do a head count and you would get in trouble and pretty much lose your recess privilege. So she was doing head count, I could see that, but they were also going to get in trouble. But they were also trying to prevent me from telling the teacher that they were being mean. So I did what any person being held, attacked, whatever would do, but I had no strength. Remember, I'm this tiny little thing. I probably weigh 25, 30 pounds, if that. I was tiny. Anyways, I bit one of the girls that were holding me down. There was 2 of them. I turned, bit her, and of course she went and told the teacher. I got sent to the principal's office. My dad was called. I was a kid. I was afraid of my parents. Not because they would hit me. It was because my parents were older parents and I didn't like upsetting them, even though, I had problems and stuff. And I would get in trouble with them a lot and everything. But I didn't like getting in trouble because I did get spankings. This was 1998, 1999. So spankings were a lot back then. But anyways, we were in the principal's office. My dad was called. I was asked why I bit her. I said I was being held on the playground in the gravel, like little pea rock gravel. I mean, that hurts. Ugh. Sorry, stamping my heel. Anyways, I got away with it. And he told me I would have done the same thing. He called the girls in. They got in trouble for what they did. We all 3 out talking to, don't do that again, blah, blah, blah. He said if I had any problems, ask to go talk to him, which I did. And he was a good principal. He really was a good principal. Anytime I got sent, he would ask me and he would be nice and understand if I did a certain thing or whatever. Anyways, he ended up getting promoted to something else. I forget. It's been such a long time. Anyways, after that year, things were still bad. I was being bullied. I had a different teacher, more nicer, sweeter, older. Miss Mackin. I ain't having problems that year, really. I was being bullied, but not bad. Then comes 2nd grade, nice teacher, bullied. 3rd, bullied. Used to sit by myself, not, didn't really have any friends, had a select few friends who I was still friends with in high school. But we kind of like went our own ways and stuff. So anyways, 4th grade comes, or 3rd grade comes, Well, I explained that. I had good teachers, except one, Miss M. Miss M. Salt. Let's put it that way. She had the same name as Salt, as a brand name Salt. I hate her. Anyway, so 4th grade comes. I had a horrible teacher that same year, September 7th, I lost my grandpa. Or, I think September 17th. I'm not really sure. It's September 7th or 17th. Anyway, I lost my grandpa. I was being bullied. One day, some of the girls who I was supposed to be friends, or who were supposed to be my friends, told my mom that I was doing mean things. My mom didn't believe them. She asked me if I said no. My teacher was rude. She put me on. So she got me put on so much Adderall that it pretty made me doped out, and I have side effects to this day. I probably shouldn't have been on Adderall or anything else for that matter. I probably didn't really have ADHD. They didn't really even know what it really was. Anyways, my mom tried to pull me out of school. Going in 5th grade, it got worse. I was then put into schools that were combined into one school. So I had a lot of people bullying me. Like over 30 students bullying me a day. Anyways, sorry. Anyways, that's when I started to being told to kill myself. My family would be better off. I had lost my grandpa the year before. It was being hard on me. Next year, kind harder. Still kill yourself, your family, your friends, whatever would be better off without you. At the time, I had been in school with both of my cousins for a year. This was the 2nd year I'd been in school with them. I was being told to kill myself. Seriously. So, one day, I finally decided that maybe this was something I wanted to do. Maybe everybody would be better off without me. I then grabbed a knife when I went home, went to the bathroom, locked the door. I had my hand on the door to unlock it as soon as I cut my throat. All of a sudden, I closed my eyes. My friends, my family, my cousins, all popped in my head. They weren't happy. They were crying. I told my mom. My mom got me help. I went to what's called MHMR. I went to that all the way up to 9th grade when I finally took myself out of it. And then the next year in 7th grade, I had kind of been friends with this popular girl in school. She was in my grade. We were kind of friends. I wouldn't really say friends that much. Anyway, I had been talking to her friends and her, and I was being really nice, and I was being, friendly, me. So, one day after gym, we walked in there to get our stuff. We had a substitute, so nobody was in the locker room. I walked in to get my stuff and was gonna walk out. They walked in. They said, we were told to do this. Sorry. They karate chopped me in the neck. I couldn't breathe. I was wheezing, shocked, air knocked out of me pretty much. Instead of going straight nurse or going straight to the principal, I went straight to my teacher. I was late that day to class because of that. He was mad at me for being late, but then I pulled him aside, told him what happened. He sent me a nurse, the nurse sent me a principal's office, and I told the principal what happened, but all they got was not even suspension, talking to. They were asked about it. Since I hadn't gotten the nurse right away, they couldn't do anything about it. It was my word against their word, and I was going up against the mayor's niece. Yeah, the mayor's niece was the one that hit me. It makes me upset to this day. Anyway, my mom dragged me up the police station. I sat with several police officers. They asked me if I want to press charges. This is all on the shoulders of a 13-year-old. Imagine being 13 and making a decision like that to put your classmate in jail. Or juvie, I mean. I said no. Hoping that the school would do something. But because it was the mayor's niece, they didn't do anything. So life went on. I never talked to him. I was actually mad after that. To the point of crying and being upset and everything. Anyways, 8th grade came. Really didn't have any incidents except one of the girls in my class who actually is an ex-friend of mine, bullied me, and then she tried to turn around and say that I had told her that I was going to get a knife, go to her house, and kill her in her sleep. I never said that. At the time, I was having therapy, so I would just be in therapy. I would just talk to my caseworker, who was pretty much like a therapist. She taught me how to deal with my problems. She taught me how to be me. So, and then my visits got a little bit fewer and fewer. I would talk about good things mostly, remember good things. My depression was getting better. I was gaining weight. I had gotten my braces off. 9th grade came, nothing bad, just really badly bullied. I had depression still. I started dating. I was 16 years old. Sophomore year came. I was still bullied badly. Cried every day after school. Tried to tell teachers. Tried to tell principals. Told counselor. I was going counseling in school. Sorry, my nose is just really itchy right now. So I was going counseling and everything. Well, it was going good. I had already been out of counseling for my depression for a year at that point because 9th grade came, I went in high school, they weren't coming to high school, they weren't talking to me, they weren't like helping me at all. So I went up there and I told them, I said, I haven't seen y'all in a long time at my school. I'm done. I won't. They tried to tell me I'll be back, or you'll be back, blah, 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 blah. I said, no, I won't. Haven't been back since. So my school tried to put me back in there. But at that time they wanted to put me back on medications, depression medication, and ADHD medication. I said no. Junior or sophomore year, I had two boyfriends. One, I had the year before. He had moved, came back that year. When he moved, I had not known. It was during the summer. My best friend actually had to tell me. I was upset. I was very depressed. 4 months. Sophomore year came. I was kind of dating online. Idiot. But I dated this guy, and then I dated his best friend, and me and him are friends still. I mean, but we don't hardly talk. We talk a little bit here and there. But anyways, he was the good part of my school life. Like, I would always go home, talk to him. Anyways, they tried to put me back on medications. I said no. Said I'm not gonna do that again. Anyway, junior year, then senior year came, still bullied, still called horrible names. I was no longer with him. I actually had been dating different guys here and there. And I had dated my ex again on and off, and another guy on and off. Senior year came, depression, bullying, boys, trouble. I ended up having a fiance from October to January. He left me January 28th. Then I dated someone else, depression. He ended up leaving because he's military, so he had to go overseas. He left me, so I have to deal with all that. Then I dated another guy. He was kind of sweet, but he was one of my ex's friends, and he was older than I was, and he wanted stuff too fast than what I had wanted. I wanted, but I was a rebellious teen at the time because I blamed my dad for everything with my ex. My dad wasn't the one to blame. I was, honestly. So I was like, I'm ready to move out, blah, blah, blah. But I ended up breaking up with him because of school. Then June 15th, I had been talking to this guy for over 3 months. And he is the one that put this ring on my finger. I was 19 years old. But he's the light of my life. I will honestly say that. He is the one thing that makes me the happiest, that makes my depression not be bad, that loves me for who I am, understands that I do have depression, that I do have problems. But the meaning of this video is, please, put a stop to bullying. If you have a child who's being bullied, go above. Principal or teachers go, principal go. If nothing happens, go above that. Go superintendents, go to whoever. Get your child help. Don't let your child be a statistic. I'm not a statistic. I'm a survivor. I survived through torment, humiliation, physical hurt, everything. But when I graduated, I felt like I succeeded. I succeeded in something that I thought I wouldn't even make it to, which was graduation. To this day, that is one thing in my life that I'm proud of myself. I made it. And so can everybody else. Keep your head up. Keep your chin up. Stay positive. And smile. Smile as much as you can. And have fun with life. Peace out.